Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everybody had a pleasant New Year's Eve and that you enjoyed yourself. And if you went out, you were safe. So today we are going to play with a stamp set that will be released in with the mini catalog. It's called Love Cats. Look how cute they are. And it's perfect for Valentine's Day. They're just so cute. And because these little cats, as you can see, are a complete stamp to be, hey, a complete stamp to be stamped, I am going to use the Stamparatus. This way, if it doesn't stamp perfectly the first time, we can re-stamp it without any issues. So, let's work on a card for Simple Saturday. I'm going to work with some Blushing Bride today. And I will have a PDF for this. I'm not a PDF, but I'll post all the dimensions on my blog later this afternoon. So we're going to start out with 8.5 by 5.5, and we're scored at 4.25. And we're just going to do this simply. Let's see. This is my inside. So I'm going to layer on some basic white. And this is 5.25 by 4. And then I was going to just put a plain piece of Blushing Bride, but you can grab any embossing folder that you have. I use the Quatrefoil embossing folder, and you can use any that you have on hand. And we're just going to glue this to the basic white. Make sure we have it on there even. And then we're just going to glue this right to the front of the card. And it seems like it's clogged, so let's get this cleaned out. There we go. So we're just going to add this right to the front of the card. Very simple, right? Just a few layers and the two colors. Okay, now I wanted to stamp that little cat on a piece of basic white, so that is going to be what I stamp on, and I wanted to put it on a pink background. Hi Ruth, how are you? Happy New Year, honey. But I just didn't like the way it looked pink on pink, so I'm going to back it with a piece of basic white. And this is 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. And this should be 2.25 by 3.5, and it is. And then the last rectangle is 2 1/8 by 3 3/8. So we have 1/8 of an inch difference between each layer. Now I'm going to pull in my Stamparatus. Let's just see. I did mark. So we're just going to lay this down. And like I said, I'm using the Stamparatus because you know that when we have a stamp that we have an area that is solid, we want to make sure, I just want to make sure this is on here straight. We want to make sure that if we misstamp or we don't cover that stamp completely with our ink, that we have the opportunity to stamp it again. Okay? So let me just move this over a little bit and get this out of the way. And I'm just going to stick my little cats under here gives me a good surface to, hi Margaret, Happy New Year. Gives you a good surface to add your ink. So we're just going to ink this up really good. And I can already see that his little face is going to need to be done again. So we're just going to stamp this down. And I'm going to ink him up again. Make sure he's nicely covered. And there he is. He looks so cute. So let's get rid of this for a second. Move that over. And here's this cute little cat. Now, if you didn't want to do it in black, you could do it in another color. And what I would do is I would ink it up with a dauber and maybe add a different color along his back and across the bottom. Like if you had an orange cat, you could do Cajun Craze with some Mango Medley. All right. And now we're going to just stamp our sentiment. And I didn't even prepare my sentiment stamp. I am just going to add the backing. I usually don't use my stickers, as you know, but I do like to use them with sentiments sometimes. So let me just get that on there. Hopefully I have it on there straight. Let's just do a sample. I'm going to just test it out. And I'm going to grab some Blushing Bride. So let's just see if this is on here straight. And it looks to be. So let's pull our little cat back in. And like I said, we're using Blushing Bride for the sentiment. And I am just going to stamp this right up here. Right over top of that little cat. Yeah, we have 4 little cats. All right, so now for this layer here, I don't want to use glue because I'm always afraid the glue is going to show through. Whoops. So I am going to use a bit of seal. And we're just going to lay this down right on this layer. And then glue it to the basic white. So does everybody have a quiet house today? Or did you have company? It's quiet here. We ran out and had breakfast. All right, so there it is layered up. Small is not really the right word. Oh, for my cats. All right, so now let's pop this up onto the front of the card. So just very, very simple. I didn't even grab my pokey tool. And we can add this right to the front. And then for the inside, we'll just keep it very plain. The only other things that are in here, whoops, are these two other cats, and we could always put a cat, but I'm going to leave the inside of this one plain. This way you have lots of area that you can write your sentiment and keep it simple. My glue is stuck again. Alright, I don't know what is wrong with that glue. I'll just open up a new one. And then just lay it right on the inside. Did laundry. Hot in your house, huh? I haven't really done anything today other than business work. Alright, so there is a quick and easy card using this cute little cat. Now, if you wanted to keep it monochromatic, you could always do that little cat in pink. And we have this little heart right here, and we do not have Blushing Bride blends, but we do have Flirty Flamingo. So let's just color that little heart in Flirty Flamingo. You don't have to do anything that's too difficult, right? Just very simple. All right, so let's step this up a little. And even stepping it up, it's not that hard. We're going to start with the same card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So we're still using the Blushing Bride. Now this time for the front, I'm going to layer it with a basic white layer, 5 1/4 by 4. But I am going to add some of the what is it called? Country Cottage? That's what I want to call it. Gingham Cottage DSP. So we're going to layer this on the front. 3 3/4 by 5. So let's layer these together. I might have to open a new glue. You know what? Let me do that right now. Instead of fighting with this glue, we'll just open a new one. Easy peasy. All right. So we're going to add some DSP to this card. And want to get this centered. And we're just going to put this, let me just scoot that over a little bit, right onto the front of the card. I'm not going to use any dimensionals for this layer. We'll just leave this flat. All right, so just a little different with some DSP. Oh, you had a traditional New Year's Day lunch. What kind of specific foods, Margaret? Because Bill kept saying he wanted me to get sauerkraut. We had no sauerkraut. And he said wanted sauerkraut for New Year's Day. That's for him. That is a typical food he would eat on New Year's. All right. So we are again going to put the rectangles, but I actually cut a rectangle from the stitched rectangles. And this is about 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. It's just a hair shorter than that on each side. And then I'm going to, again, use a basic white rectangle. And I actually cut this instead of using this next step down in the stitched rectangles. And this is about 2 1/16 by 3 3/8. And it'll just give me a nice little border so we can see the stitching. Okay, so we're going to use this layer to stamp our cat. Just move something out of the way, put my stamp box back there, and I do have it marked here. But what I'm going to do is I want this little cat to be closer to the top this time than the bottom. So give me 1 second to move this down, see where I want him. I think we'll do one more. I'm trying to make it so I'm not messing up the camera there on you. All right, that's about where I want it. So let's put it right here. I'm going to move my magnet down. All right, so I want my cat to be closer to the top this time. And that looks like it should be good. Let's grab that memento. The little puppy dogs wanted to go out. That's one thing with Sheba. Oh my goodness, she still goes out. She likes to go out like every hour. And it's so weird because she goes 12 hours at night. So I think she just likes to be nosy. All right, so let's get this stamped. Let's see how it looks. All right, we're going to do it again. And that looks like it's on there pretty good, side to side. So we just got to get this little cat really inked up. And we can do it again. This is the great part about our Stamparatus, that you can re-ink and re-stamp without making a mess of your image. So now we have it stamped towards the top. Same with your greyhound. She's so funny. She's so nosy. She hears noises outside and she is just on alert for sure. All right, so we're going to layer this down. And I'm just going to take a little piece off this edge, just so it sits a little bit more evenly. And when I say a little tiny piece, I mean just a smidge. So it's a little bit more even side to side. I think I'm going to take just a little bit more. All right, that's better. All right. So now that we have it at the top, I am going to adhere this down to this layer. Oops. If you don't use that seal the right way, it just does not play nice. All right. Let me just pick this up. I gotta scoot it over just a hair. All right, so there is our little cat. And like I said, we have it. Yes, it really is. Oh, I'm glad you got your card. So instead of putting our sentiment on this piece this time, I actually cut out a blushing bride in the double oval, and then a piece in the basic white. And I'm going to use the same sentiment. So we are going to ink this up, and we're going to stamp this sentiment. And I think I just got ink on my hands. We're going to stamp the sentiment right here on this oval. Hopefully it's in the right spot. And I messed it up, as you can see. So let's try that again. You know me and my rocking. I like to rock my stamps. There we go. That's better. So now this is the easiest way. This way we can get this sentiment in there centered. Give it a punch. And now it's good to go. Now where it is the sentiment, I am going to use a little bit of glue. I'm going to put it right there in the middle. And add the Hi There Valentine. We'll let that dry for a second. Let's pull the front of our card in, and let's pop this little one up onto the front of the card. And I'm just going to add one more to the center so it doesn't sink. I should have done that to the other one. And we're going to, again, just center this on the front of the card. Let's see if that's straight. It's off a little bit. All right. And then we're going to take this sentiment, and I am actually going to just glue it right here to this rectangle. So I'm just going to add glue to the right hand side. If you feel that you need, and we may need to, we're going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to add another dimensional right under the edge here. I'm going to take some frayed edge blushing bride ribbon and tie a quick bow. We don't want all this white space right there on that image. So we'll add a nice thick bow. Grab my ribbon scissors. Fix our tails so they're nice and neat. How old is your greyhound, Karen? Hello, hello. Nope, it's not new. This is I think, was it in the mini catalog? So let's see, where do we want this? We'll put this right about here. I don't think it's in the mini catalog, I believe. And I don't know if I even have. Yes, I do. Let me check to make sure. Yes, it was in this one, the mini catalog. All right, so my little loops look like they are even. My fingers are so chapped. And we're going to put this bow right there. And let's grab some pearls. And we'll use the smaller ones. And I'm going to use them so it looks like this piece is being held on by little brads. And I'm going to actually put one down here. So just adding a ribbon, some designer series paper. Just going to pull this up a little bit. See the difference? Using the same exact stamp, just changing it up a little bit. 5, okay. My sister had greyhounds that she adopted, and she loved them. All right. So for the inside of the card, I'm just going to do it up a little different. Want to step it up. We're going to do some Blushing Bride 5 1/4 by 4. Then I'm going to put on a layer of designer series paper, and this is 5 by 3 3/4. And then I'm going to have my basic white layer, which is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And what I'm going to do is, to this basic white, I'm going to add a strip of the designer series paper. And I'm just going to actually lay a line of glue on the basic white and then lay down my paper. I'm just going to lift it up. If I hold it up and push it down against the table, I'll have a nice clean edge. And if you've cut your paper straight, it should be even. And then all I have to do is trim off that bottom. So let's grab the designer series paper, and we're going to add some seal. And we're going to just layer this right on the designer series paper. And now I can use my glue. As you can see, the gingham squares are larger on the opposite side. And then lay this down. Now this would be a card that would need extra postage, of course, because of all the layers. And then we can just add this to the center of the card. And then we have our cards. You really, oh. Yeah, the little cats are so cute. So there we go. Another new stamp set. Like I said, it'll be in the mini catalog, and it's called Love Cats. It does not come with dies. It's just a stamp set, but these little cats are easy enough to fussy cut if you wanted to. Check out this little guy. How cute is he? So we'll be using these cats again. Since we have 2 other little cats, I'll think of something else that we can do with these. So thanks for joining me today, ladies. I'll have my blog post ready at the end of the day. And I'll see you during the week. I'm trying to update things and get things ready for the new year. So enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. Enjoy the sunshine if you have any. It's supposed to be a rainy week here, so there'll be not much going out for me this week, so I'll be staying in. So have a great day. Thank you, thank you. You're all welcome. Happy New Year to everybody, and let's make this a really great year. Bye-bye.